Benji Marshall and Johnathan Thurston could headline historic Indigenous test. Benji Marshall and Johnathan Thurston could headline historic Indigenous test. Johnathan Thurston and Benji Marshall have been touted as potential superstar opponents in a proposed test match between an Australian Indigenous side and the New Zealand Maori during this year's representative weekend. The contest is the brainchild of First Nation Goannas coach Laurie Daly and New Zealand Maori mentor Mark Hora, whose respective sides clash at Redfern Oval on Saturday as part of the Festival of Indigenous Rugby League. The proposal is for all State of Origin players not playing in the standalone interstate clash on Sunday, June 24 to be available for the Australian Indigenous side, while the Maori team could be picked from all eligible Kiwi players not chosen for that Friday's test against England. That would give Daly an opportunity to select the likes of Thurston, Ash Taylor, Latrell Mitchell, Bevan French, James Roberts, Alex Johnston, Tyrone Peachey and other stars on the cusp of representative selection to be involved in the historic contest. The Maori side would also be a strong one, potentially featuring the likes of Kenny Bromwich, James Fisher-Harris, Corey Harawira-Naera and Marshall in contests that could be staged alongside the scheduled Pacific Test matches involving Tonga against Samoa and Papua New Guinea and Lebanon that weekend. The initiative is all the more timely given Fiji, who were poised to be also involved in a third game on the Saturday night, had vowed to boycott all international matches because they remain unpaid for their services during the Rugby League World Cup. The match could also offset the absence of the All-Stars match, taken off the 2018 schedule due to a crammed pre-season that included the RLWC. Daly, the longtime Indigenous All-Stars coach, believes the concept is a winner and urged clubs and officials to get behind it. It would be terrific and would add to that representative weekend, Daly told Stuff. If they don't get picked for the test matches and the Origin side, there's an opportunity to get the rest of the best and play a game against each other. It would add to that weekend and there is a real opportunity there. It would mean something. The Indigenous All-Stars play the International All-Stars at the start of the year, but for the International All-Stars, it doesn't mean a great deal. You play the Maori, it would mean something. With our boys, there would be a rivalry. An idea can start from somewhere and you never know how big it can get. While clubs will balk at releasing their stars over injury concerns, Daly said there was less risk playing them in June than in the pre-season because they were already match fit. It's at the start of the year that they are most susceptible to injuries, Daly explained. You wouldn't be picking the Origin boys but the ones who miss out. You could have guys like Ash Taylor, Alex Johnston, Latrell Mitchell if he's not in Origin, all of those types of players. You could give the opportunity to 2 or 3 young guys to come into a 20-man squad. You could ease the pressure by rotating them on and off the field. I'd like to see the players released and the clubs start to think about the good of the game. Hora, a former Parramatta and Kiwis representative, is also championing the cause. There's an opportunity on the international calendar for a third game that weekend, Hora said. Myself and Laurie want pathways for emerging players. If you have that game then you can get guys like Johnathan Thurston and Benji Marshall involved. Imagine those two playing that game. This game is a beautiful concept. It's great for our emerging players and there's an opportunity to do it this year. We are the youngest nation on the planet, they are the oldest. It would be a huge celebration for both cultures to be able to play some footy and for it to really mean something. It's almost similar to Origin. It may not be the Kiwis or Australia, but it's pretty bloody close.